other. I will basically announce it during the video as I go, so that hopefully I can put timestamps when I post this. So I hope you enjoy this video. Sit back, relax, and let's get started. The Pale Princess and the Six Pygmies, Volume 1. A fairy tale story that has been told throughout Tivat for ages. This is part 1, which tells the story of the Land of Night and the Moonlight Forest. In the distant past, the Night Mother ruled over the faraway Land of Night. Here, no light touched the earth, nor did a single tree grow, and there was no life here but the horrendous denizens of the dark. The Night Mother was the source of all sins, and the Land of Night was the embodiment of her evilness. The cruel Night Mother, who had neither heart nor mouth, was always watching the Land of Night, and her punishments were always unexpected. The only thing she could not bear was the occasional ray of moonlight that made it through the clouds. The light that penetrated the walls of darkness always irritated her. The Moonlight Forest was the only place free from the brood of the Night Mother. Only there could the people bask in the bright moonlight and enjoy the grace it brought to the living. Everyone in the kingdom of the Moonlight Forest was born with fair skin, light-colored hair, and bright blue eyes. Perhaps the constant lack of sunlight and the nourishment of the moonlight was the reason for their beauty, giving them an appearance different from the abhorrent creatures lurking at the edge of the forest. Volume 2. This installment tells of the meeting of the Pale Princess and the Light Prince. The monarch of this kingdom was a beautiful princess with skin as white as snow, just like the moon. She had the brightest skin, the purest eyes, and the kindest soul. People of the kingdom all vowed their loyalty to her and referred to her as the Pale Princess. The Pale Princess ruled her kingdom with kindness and gentleness. She always knew what was best for her people. Under her rule, the people of the Moonlight Forest never knew the threat of the Night Mother's wrath, and the creatures lurking in the dark never dared set foot in the forest. However, the princess had her own troubles. To her, the silvery moon hanging in the night sky seemed like a tiny hole through which the light could pass, and she felt that by following the light back to its source, one could almost see the world on the other side. Just like all other people, the Pale Princess would often sit on the stone plate in front of the palace, imagining a world beyond the moonlight. Will I be able to bring my people there one day? The princess thought to herself. You will. She had not expected to hear an answer. The princess turned and saw a young prince. Volume 3. This installment tells of the Pale Princess and the Light Prince's decision to save the Moonlight Forest. I am the prince of the kingdom of light from the other side of the world, the prince said to the shocked princess. The prince shone with an extraordinary light. The people of the Moonlight Forest had never seen such vitality. For as the prince strolled through the forest, life flourished around him. New leaves sprouted, and the princess and her people grew stronger. He had come to save them. He would eventually save her from the darkness and take her to a kingdom free from all shadows. Although the prince didn't say it explicitly, the Pale Princess had sensed the possibility of his arrival through her years of meditation. So she asked, "What What's the world like on the other side of the moon? The prince had already told her about the Kingdom of Light hundreds of times before. But at that moment, the prince realized that she was determined to find out for herself. So, having sworn to save her people, the princess and the prince left the Moonlight Forest and walked hand in hand into the dark forest of the Land of Night. Volume 4. This one describes the meeting between the Pale Princess, the Light Prince, and the 6 Pygmies. Having slogged across the swamp blazing with dark flames and past the cave overgrown with poisonous mushrooms, the prince and the princess finally arrived at the Kingdom of Pygmies. Princess of the Moonlight Forest, please save my 5 brothers. We will vow our loyalty to you in return for your kindness, begged the deformed pygmy who had just popped up from behind the branches. The kind princess, sympathizing with the pygmies, promised to help them. They climbed up the dark mountains and saved the pygmy on the ridge who was blind. Oh, silly me, I climbed all the way up here to try and get a better view. The blind pygmy apologized profusely. They dragged another pygmy out of the muddy wetland. This one was a fool. The foolish pygmy thanked the princess. They walked into the cave where the night gaunt resides and saved another pygmy who was timid from the top of a stalactite. Not to brag, but I came here to have a fierce fight with the Night Mother's minions, the timid pygmy explained. They set foot on a barren field and found a shrunken pygmy in the quicksand. I wanted to see my garden, but somehow got lost. Rubbing his withered palms, the shrunken pygmy grinned. They snuck into the nest of shadows and rescued a carefree pygmy from the clutches of carnivorous mushrooms. I was out for a walk and somehow got trapped here, the carefree pygmy sighed. One by one, the princess and the prince saved the deformed pygmy's 5 brothers. The kind princess said to them, "Now that you are all my people, please let me take you to the Kingdom of Light. It is a place that can bring sight to the blind, wisdom to the foolish, courage to the timid, and reinvigoration to the shrunken. As a princess, this is my gesture of gratitude to you." On hearing this, the pygmies were elated. To show their gratitude, they went along on the journey to serve the prince and the princess. Volume 5. In this installment, the 6 Pygmies' sinister scheme starts to unfold. On the surface, the 6 Pygmies were true to the princess and prince, and followed them everywhere, but they were still heinous creatures from the Land of Night, and corruption flowed in their vein. As the days travelling to the Kingdom of Lights grew long and dangerous, the root of evil would again blossom in their hearts. Fear gave root to malice, and out of malice grew evil scheming. The 6 Pygmies started to devise their nasty plot. The blind pygmy opened his sightless eyes and enjoyed the sunlight greedily. Why not keep the prince with us forever, instead of believing in unfathomable promises? Securing the sunlight before us is our best bet. The foolish pygmy gently patted his scabies ridden head and gulped the light-filled air rapaciously. I think we should kidnap the prince and use him to make us smarter. That's the smart way. The timid pygmy swung his tiny fist in the air and yelled, "All that rascal did was save our lives, and now he acts so condescendingly, treating us like servants. I shall challenge him to a duel." The shrunken pygmy squinted in disdain, his complexion wrinkled up like a piece of crumpled paper. "Brothers, you have been hiding in the shadows for too long. The darkness has clouded your judgment. It is new life that we need in order to survive. I say we use the corpse of the so somber. There was one pygmy who did not join the discussion. This is not because he was not evil, but because the guilt of betraying his savior overcame his wicked nature enough to make him keep his mouth shut. He couldn't even say a single word. Nevertheless, the guild could not completely suppress his corrupt nature, and the pygmies all agreed to a scheme. They decided to poison the prince's water. Volume 6. This installment tells of how the 6 pygmies managed to implement their nefarious plot. At that moment, the pale princess was in a deep slumber and had not an inkling of how the pygmies had played her and her lover for fools. Under the cover of the night sky, the 6 pygmies made their first move. The poison had sent the prince into a coma as the pale princess slept. The 6 pygmies' scheme started to unfold. In her sleep, the princess had no idea how the prince was being tortured. In her dream, her lover's body glowed with luminous colors and light scattered gently like satin. The sweet sunlight finally broke through the dark clouds and sprinkled on the living. The orange glow of the setting sun painted a layer of caramel on the blue lake, making the water as sweet as nectar. New colors were painted on the black hills, and the ruined city was turned into a candy castle. However, when the princess called the prince by name, all she heard in reply were indistinguishable words. The poor princess had no idea that the prince could no longer respond to her calling. Lightning flashed and thunder echoed in the silent night sky. The 6 pygmies carried out their scheme. Successfully. To celebrate, they set up a huge pot and cooked a pot of thick soup with moss and poisonous mushrooms. But just as the culprits were enjoying their feast, the prince's broken soul used up all its remaining power to curse the pygmies. For the rest of their lives, they were tormented by a curse that made them feel as if they were being cooked in a huge cooking pot, unable to ever see the light of day again. However, during the celebration, one of the pygmies wrapped the prince in the dirty tablecloth, intent on carrying him back to the dark forest to seek help from the princess, hoping to wake him up. No one knows if this was out of a lingering sense of loyalty to the princess or simply born of his fear of the curse. Volume 7. The final installment brings everything to a conclusion and includes the Night Mother's prophecy. This pygmy spirited the prince's body away from his wicked brethren, plunging into the damp bushes. Following animal tracks, he searched for the fountain of purity where the pale princess slept. What the pygmy did not know is that the vicious Night Mother had already found the princess. She followed the pygmy stealthily like a wildcat stalking its prey, her shadowy figure blotting out the moon and starlight. When the pygmy arrived, the princess was already gone. The sorrowful howl of a night owl was heard as the Night Mother arose from the now corrupt fountain. Pitiful creature, are you here to see your master? The foul smirk of the Night Mother exuded the breath of the abyss. If so, I am afraid all you will find here is despair, you sad little thing. That foolish princess is now in chains. I destroyed the Moonlight Kingdom and cursed her people before her eyes. They will be in an undead state, lingering at the point between life and death forevermore. No soul and no moonlight. The words of the Night Mother landed like cold raindrops on a forgotten tomb. Look at you, you poor pygmy. I wonder what your master will think when she finds out what you have done. Fear crawled through the pygmy's veins and grabbed his feeble heart. The Night Mother left the pygmy to wallow in grief. But first, whether out of some unknown sense of pity or simply to see him suffer more, we shall never know, the Night Mother left a glimpse of hope for the wretched pygmy. In thousands of years' time, my greatest foe will descend. He wields a sword that heralds the dawn and wears armor that can reflect the shining sunlight. He shall destroy my kingdom and bring the prince back to life. The princess will then be free from her eternal torment. Until then, I fear not a single soul in the land of night, for nothing will bring an end to my kingdom except for the catastrophe foretold by the prophecy. As for you, treacherous slave that poisoned his master, fate shall see that you get what you deserve. The Night Mother then collapsed and became a pile of sludge consisting of mud and worms. Devastated, the pygmy wandered around in sorrow and regret. He hid the body in a tree hole and walked off alone into the night and into a self-imposed exile. The end. I thought it was going to be a long run, but it wasn't. It was actually very